tell you how excited we all are by who we're going to be joined by, because on our team sheet tonight, they captured the hearts of the nation and returned from the 2015 Women's World Cup as heroines. England Lionesses Lucy Bronze and Katie Chapman are here. He's one of the finest to have pulled on an England shirt, and in a red shirt, he was voted Anfield's greatest ever. It's Steven Gerrard. To his beloved Liverpool means that he is adored by fans of all clubs, actually. But have a look at how this fan reacted to hearing the news that after 17 years, he was leaving.
Steven Gerrard's leaving Liverpool!
Oh no, it's awful.
You back me up. Nothing's scared.
I seen it in the news.
Oh, God.
And the crying went on for at least another hour, and that's not a child, that's a fully grown woman. But first up on tonight's show is the Premier League's most enigmatic personality. Love him or hate him, you cannot ignore him, and you have to respect his record. He's a specialist in success, having won league titles in Portugal, England, Italy, and Spain. Jose Mourinho has tasted Champions League glory with Porto and Inter Milan. One of football's greatest ever managers, the special one became the happy one on his return to Chelsea. Always quotable, always stylish, he's one of the game's most charismatic figures. Please welcome the man who's won everything, Jose Mourinho. Reception you're getting there. Do you like the fact that people here love you?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel good with that. I feel even better when I play at home, Stamford Bridge, and I feel that my stadium is with me. But I confess that I also like when I go away and I feel the stadium is against me.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm going to ask you a really tough question now. You ready?
Let's try.
Of all the clubs you've managed, which is your favourite?
Well, you know, I have to be honest and say that every club I go, I arrive, I wear the shirt, and not even to sleep, I take the shirt off.
You do. Okay, that's good.
But the only one that I wear the shirt twice was Chelsea, because it was the only club where I left and I come back. So I would say Chelsea, but I have also to confess that Inter was really special, and Porto was my beginning, and I can't forget that. And a giant like Real Madrid is also an honor to manage.
There is only one club, though, that you've actually sung for. Because he can sing the song. Well, he can sing a bit of the song. I don't mean to be unkind, but... I don't mean to be unkind, but that singing is truly terrible.
I know.
I mean, I wanted to be able to say we can loan you to The Voice, but we can't. You've had a very colourful relationship with the media in this country. Do you see that as part of the game? Do you actually enjoy it? Because you've got to give a lot of press conferences, don't you? How many in a week?
Depends, but sometimes we play 3 matches and 3 means 6 press conferences. It's too much. It's too much.
Let's have a look at some of Jose's finest sort of performances in press conference.
Do you know what both starting lineups will be tomorrow?
So, Oscar is a yellow card, this one, and the ref... I didn't speak. It was Billy the Masseur that spoke to the team. He was screaming so much in his Scottish, I didn't understand, really. I didn't understand, but the players were clapping. Okay, let's go.
That that last one in reference to the masseur who you got to give the speech. Was this before Manchester City game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In 2014. What did... Well, you couldn't understand what he said, I assume.
I couldn't understand, really.
Why did you ask him to do it, though?
Because every game one does. Doesn't matter who. Can be a physio, a player, myself, an assistant. Any one of us can do it, and are just the last words before we go to the pitch. Obviously, positive words. Obviously, words to increase a little bit the tempo and the body temperature. But Bill is a special guy, and with a special accent. I have to say that even sometimes with Sir Alex, when I speak with him face to face, good, but when he's on the phone,
you can't understand. You just say yes every now and again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm polite.
Yeah, exactly. Did it work? Did the masseur's speech work?
We won.
Yeah, perfect. Get him on again. You've just released a book that charts your amazing career. You've won 22 trophies in 15 years. What would you say are your career highlights? What are the things that you will never, ever forget, that you just go, yes, that was a moment of magic?
You know, the moment I will never forget is the first 3 months of the season 2015-16.
That is unforgettable, yes. And actually, it's a fair point, that, because lots of people will say, judge me on my successes. Others will say, judge me on how I recover from a difficult start, which is what you're in the process of doing.
Well, I prefer to be judged by my career and by the victories, but I have to say that it's a good experience. It's an experience that probably come too late, come after 15 years. So I was ready to live with it, to cope with it, because maturity and experience. But I can imagine that if this happened in the beginning of my career, probably my career would be even better, because as a process, this is an amazing learning process.
For you, learning things about yourself or learning things about the players?
About myself. About the players, I think I know everything about them. About myself, I still had some things to discover, and this period was important for me. I'm better than I thought.
Does it matter to you if players like you? Do they need to like you?
I think they need to like to work with me. I think they need to understand that I am the best manager they can work with. I think that is very, very important. Like me, don't like me, the person, the man, big friends, that's a supplement. But I think it's fundamental that the manager is somebody the players they look at and they know that he's good.
And they need to be a tiny weeny bit scared?
No. No, I don't think so.
Sometimes.
No.
No. How do you say to yourself, and indeed to your players, right, these are our aims for this year? Do you set out a plan at the beginning of a season, or do you just...
Yeah.
Yeah?
I always establish the impossible target, and I tell them, this is the impossible target, but the target is win every match. They know that is impossible, and this season is proving that is really impossible. But I think is the target. You have to go to every match. It doesn't matter which competition is, and you want to win, and you feel that you can win. I think that's the important thing.
How do you find other clubs and other managers? I mean, would you send each other Christmas cards? Do you sort of chat? Are you mates?
Honestly?
Yeah.
3 groups of managers with my Christmas cards and my secretary. One I just sign. Another one I send a personalized message. And another one I don't send.
I really love that.
For example, to Big Sam, the Christmas card is not big enough, because I really enjoyed to write a message to a good guy. But some others,
When you think about the moments that you're happiest away from football, what are the things that make you smile, that just give you peace, that make you feel, you know, alive?
In this moment, win a match.
I do take that. I take that point. But away from football, is there anything that you just enjoy doing that makes you feel very relaxed?
I do nothing special, to be fair. My life is so simple. It's football, it's house.
Your daughter is now 18, isn't she?
19.
19 now. So it's going to be fairly soon, if she hasn't already, I'm sure she will be, bringing people home with her, people special. What are you going to be like as you assess the young man that walks through the door with her?
I'm waiting for that experience.
Are you going to be kind and gentle?
I don't know. I don't know.
Jose said in an interview recently that it's impossible to go anywhere in the world without people recognising him, so we thought we'd put it to the test. So do you think the Maasai warriors, the remote tribe in Kenya, would... Yes? Let's have a look.
Uni Jose Mourinho, which was Chelsea.
And actually, to be fair, you've met Maasai warriors in Kenya, haven't you?
Yes, and they did something amazing for me. I was there in holidays. At the same time, a World Cup was being played in South Africa. And in my hotel, no television. And they made sure I got a television in the middle of that tribe. And I watched the World Cup.
Had you wanted to...
Surrounded by them.
Around you, and they're watching you. Sure. Had you wanted to watch the World Cup?
I didn't.
No. But you've got to be grateful. Did you say thank you?
Sure.
Yeah. Right, it's time for a quick break, but coming up, Jose Mourinho will be joined by a player I know he admires hugely, the only man to have scored in an FA Cup final, a League Cup final and a Champions League final. It's Steven Gerrard.
And to refuse me 3 times.
And to refuse you 3 times, exactly. We'll be talking about that, and we'll be talking to 2 roaring lionesses, Lucy Bronze and Katie Chapman. We'll see you very soon. With the most successful active manager, Jose Mourinho. It's time to introduce our second guest. He's etched his name in Anfield folklore with some of the most audacious moments of individual brilliance. No other player has worn the red shirt with more pride and earned such universal admiration. He is one of the world's greatest footballers. In an illustrious career, Steven Gerrard won over 100 caps for England. A Liverpool icon, he represented his hometown club for 17 years. First captaining the side at 23, Stevie G has been at the heart of some of the club's greatest moments, inspiring them to that stunning Champions League triumph, UEFA Cup success and FA Cup glory. After an emotional Anfield farewell, he joined LA Galaxy and is now one of the biggest stars in the MLS. Please welcome a legend for club and country, Steven Gerrard. Reception, and there are a few Liverpool shirts there, but that's not all Liverpool fans. That's some Chelsea fans too, Chelsea cheering you.
You told them what to do, that's right.
Do you think? Yeah. The 2 of you are going to be fine tonight. You were going to get on, aren't you?
Yeah, of course.
Because I never know what on earth was going on here. It's the funniest thing about that. It's like a 5-year-old child. I've got the ball. You're not having it back.
Things he'll do to win.
No,
you know?
But he loves you. You really do, don't you? You've always admired him as a player.
Yeah.
You have tried to woo him.
Sure, 3 times.
And what happened?
His blood spoke, and he decided to stay at Liverpool, which I was a bit frustrated, especially a couple of times, because the third one I was already convinced that he was not coming. But I admire a lot that that decision.
Were you tempted?
Yeah, very much so. You know, when Jose Mourinho comes calling, it puts a player in a very difficult situation. Only that I'd been at Liverpool for 8 years of age, and all my family are Reds, and that the club means so much to me. So he put me in a difficult situation 3 times.
And what did you admire in him as a player? What was it about Steven Gerrard that you wanted?
I always had, on Steven and Lampard, I really like, because they could do everything. When I was really thinking about accept the England job, I was thinking, finally, I have both together. But then I didn't go.
Why?
Because I was too young. I was too young, you know.
But you could have got the best out of them together, couldn't you?
I could never understand why they couldn't do something big, because that generation was phenomenal.
And you got a letter, didn't you?
Yeah, it was after a charity match that we held at Anfield. You know, John Terry was kind enough to make his way down and do his bit for charity, and he handed me a letter. I didn't know who it was off. He just said, open it, it's a bit of a surprise for you. So when I got home, I opened the letter, and it was off this fella. And it was a very touching message, and the letter is now in a frame, pride of place in the house. You know, that's what it means to me. And it was a nice touch which showed the other side, what he gives to players off the pitch, and even players that have been a rival and have turned them down on 2 or 3 occasions. You know, he's still humble enough and a gentleman to take the time out to write me a letter.
So I always felt respect for the player, respect for the man, and sorry that he left the Premier League.
Now, you've been training at Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp, who, while we've seen the sort of soft underside of Jose, we see the soft side of Jurgen Klopp all the time. He is a hugger, doesn't he? He loves to hug his players. Has he hugged you?
Yeah, I've had a couple of them, yeah.
Is he nice? Is it a nice hug? Is he
nice.
good?
He's a big guy, you know. I think he's about 6'3", 6'4", so big cuddles. When these top managers they come along and they show these players this love, it makes you feel taller, it makes you feel bigger, it raises the confidence levels, and that's what, you know, that bit of love you can get off a manager can give you.
Are you a secret hugger? Do you hug them?
No, I'm more about...
Exactly.
It's the same.
And do you know Jurgen Klopp? Had you known him before?
Yeah, I met him, yeah.
So where's he going to be on the Christmas card list? Which section?
Yeah, nice simple message. Yeah.
OK. And that'll get longer and longer, I expect.
Yeah.
You know, as you get to know him more. And there are these breaks in the MLS, which is why you're here now. And some players, I think Thierry Henry did it, and Robbie Keane, I think they came on loan while they were at an MLS club. And you could do it. Would you do it? Would you suddenly pop up playing for Liverpool again?
No. I'm sorry. I've already had my time. It's time to move on. I'm enjoying being over in America and playing in the MLS. Liverpool are moving on without me. I'm keeping fit and ticking over there at the moment and enjoying being around all the staff and all the players that I know very well.
And you're still such a fan of Liverpool. I mean, you're watching their games live when you can, aren't you? Or all the time in LA?
All the time, yeah. I'm losing some sleep over it. Yeah.
Well, that's because you're, what, 10 hours behind?
Yeah, but it's BT's fault. They keep putting them on at 12:30. If Liverpool win, it's fine. You know, you're happy and you feel great for the rest of the day. It's when you get up and they lose and you've lost 5 hours sleep, that's the problem.
And what are you like when you watch? Are you animated? Do you get emotionally involved? Do you shout?
I'm probably worse than when I played, because you're in no control. You know, when you're playing and you're in that dressing room, there's something you can do, you can contribute, and when you're sitting on a couch in LA, there's nothing you can do except throw stuff around the house or shout and scream at the TV. You
rang David Beckham for advice before you moved there. What did he say to you?
Go for it. He spoke very highly of the club Galaxy, about the level. You know, he said to me, I'll enjoy the life, get left alone, be able to do stuff with the kids and the family without, you know, anyone interfering. And he said I'd also enjoy the league. He also explained it's not Premier League level, but it's still a good enough level to enjoy your football and see out your career. So he was a big factor in my decision.
And how would you assess your first season there?
It wasn't good enough from our point of view because we were first and second in the league up until the last month of the season. We lost 2 out the last 3 and fell down the pecking order in the playoffs. A bit disappointed to come home so early. Hopefully we can put that right next year.
So the playing side of it is going to improve. But the living side of it, I mean, we did this thing with Jose earlier, I don't know whether you saw it, where obviously he's going to get recognised anywhere in the world. He can't go into the middle of Maasai Warriors and not get recognised. But LA might be the place.
Oh, it's fantastic.
LA, completely anonymous.
We go in pre-season, and this is the best place.
Because nobody knows.
A few, but not many.
Now, when we knew you were coming on the show, I got in touch with a couple of friends of yours to get some alternative questions. So, first of all, I rang your good mate, John Bishop, a very good footballer himself, actually. He didn't pick up the phone.
Who said that?
I've seen him play.
You've seen him play?
I've seen him play.
So have I.
Yeah. Anyway, John Bishop wouldn't pick up the phone to me, but he did leave a message on my answer phone.
Hi Claire, it's John Bishop. Can you do me a favour and ask Stevie about the injury he picked up when playing against Bournemouth in the FA Cup? It wasn't a very big thing.
What was the injury?
It was a laceration of the penis.
Well, he's given us the technical explanation there.
A big laceration of the penis.
How did it happen?
I went in for a slide tackle 50-50 to stop a cross. I actually got there for once. Block tackle, the follow-through right up into the private area.
And did you know right away? Did you think, ow? Yes, obviously.
I definitely knew ow.
Did you know what it was?
No, but there was an extreme sting, and I knew the game was on TV, so I had to have a sly peek, and it didn't look great. So I toddled over to Brendan and the physio and give the physio a sly peek, and he went and I went back, and then he said to me, carry on, because it was a cup game and it was really tight, so I had to get back out there and just grin and bear it. And then I got it stitched up after the game.
I hesitate to ask this, but everything all right now?
Yeah, it's fine now, all recovered, all sorted.
Good. Now, I tweeted your good mate Wayne Rooney, and this is what he thought I should ask. Claire, you need to ask him why he would always rush home after games. Why did you always rush home after games?
Same reason he used to rush back home as well, to watch X Factor.
Is that right? Is that your guilty pleasure? Do you watch X Factor?
No.
No. I can imagine you judging it. You'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
He'd be better than Simon Cowell, wouldn't he?
Definitely, yeah.
Now, one story I did hear about you was sleeping with the Champions League trophy. Did you? It's a big trophy.
We had an after-party planned if it went well. At half-time, it was cancelled, obviously. But after the game, we'd won, and I was one of the last to leave. I could see the cup on the side. Alex wasn't there at the time. Double bed to myself. Get in there.
Yeah.
Blanket over. Good night.
Have you ever slept with a trophy, Jose?
No.
You've written a book, My Story, which deals pretty candidly with your 17 years at Liverpool. How was it revisiting those memories? Did you get emotional writing it?
Well, I think the important thing when you're doing a book is to be real, and be really fair to the people that are buying it. Be as honest and as genuine as you can, and that's what I've tried to do. We stumbled across a football impressionist. He's very, very good, called Darren Farley on the internet, and we've recorded him reading from your book, and he does some great voices. So we're all going to make sure we guess who is actually the voice that he is impersonating. Who's this?
Alex had made me tea. She placed the salmon, pasta and salad in front of me. It was my favourite meal. But I stared at me food that early evening, feeling sick to me stomach. The 3 girls were running around the house, kicking up a racket, just being kids. My head seemed close to bursting. I could not pick up a knife and fork. My meal remained untouched. Yeah, of course.
We know who that is, don't we? Stevie G himself. The good news for you is you actually don't have to do the audiobook yourself because he can do it for you.
Do I really sound like that?
Now, there's so much I want to ask you, and we're in danger of running out of time, so I'm just going to fire some quick questions at you. Steven Gerrard, best player you've played against?
Zinedine Zidane.
Best player you played with?
Luis Suarez.
Best goal you've scored?
FA Cup final.
Does your wife Alex like football?
No.
Best manager you've worked under?
Tactically, Rafa Benitez.
Which manager was the worst footballer themselves in training?
None of them have ever joined in. Yeah. Oh, actually, tell a lie, Kenny Dalglish's joined in, and he was pretty good.
Fair enough.
He still had a few moves.
Well, just wonderful to have you sitting next to each other, given the relationship you've had without actually managing to work together. So we're going to take this as your moment together. We've got to say goodbye now to Jose Mourinho, but what a brilliant, brilliant guest you've been. Thank you so much. Fabulous. Thank you. It's time for another break. Make sure you don't go anywhere because Stephen will soon be joined by England Lionesses Katie Chapman and Lucy Bronze. We'll see you very soon. I'm still joined by all-time Anfield great Steven Gerrard, but it's time to welcome our final guests. This England team made their country proud with their exploits at the 2015 World Cup and turned women's football into a front-page, mainstream sport. The Lionesses lit up the 2015 World Cup, their third-place finish confirming them as England's most successful football team in almost 50 years. Defender Lucy Bronze announced herself on the world stage with that sensational strike against Norway and was proclaimed one of the stars of the tournament. With over 90 caps to her name, Katie Chapman has had a dream year. As well as shining at the World Cup, the midfielder led Chelsea to a glorious double. Please welcome the pride of England's Lionesses, Lucy Bronze and Katie Chapman. Welcome home. And I know it seems a long time ago now, but congratulations again on finishing third at the World Cup. You watched it, didn't you, Stephen? You were in America by then.
Yeah, it was so big over in the US, obviously, because their girls were going well as well, but I obviously had the 3 Lionesses and I was trying to support them from over there.
And how impressed were you with the way they kind of picked themselves up again after being beaten by Japan?
I was jealous. All they've done now is put extra pressure on the lads, but no, they were fantastic and they should be so proud of themselves. You know, what they're doing for all the young girls around the country is special.
And Katie, what does it mean to you to play for England?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a really proud moment to play for England. I think anyone representing their country at that level is unbelievable. And I think, obviously, I've got my children there as well to watch me. So, for me, it's magical.
Well, this is the thing. You've got 3 boys, haven't you?
Yeah.
And Stephen's got 3 girls. What
Any
ages
advice?
are they? How old are yours?
11, 9 and 4.
12, 7 and 2.
Future of England football here now in like 25, 30, no, a bit longer than that actually, because obviously they've got to then have children. I'm planning well ahead for you. Lucy, how do you reflect on the whole World Cup?
To be honest, I went there thinking I wasn't even going to play. I went, you know, I had a number 12 on my back thinking I was going to sit on the bench, and the first game came and I played left wing and I'm a right back. or a centre-half. So it's not normal. And then obviously I scored a few goals and everything kind of kicked off for me in that sense, because no one knew who I was before then.
Well, and you end up not just as one of the players of the tournament, you're in that team of the tournament. You are also, Lucy Bronze, the first female footballer ever to be shortlisted for Sports Personality of the Year.
Yeah.
How did you find out you were on the shortlist?
I got a phone call, 3 weeks ago, I got a phone call saying there's a possibility that an England female footballer might be nominated, and we think it might be you, or it could be Steph Horton, our captain, or Farah, but all them girls are going to the awards, you're not. Because I was on holiday, I was meant to be going on holiday. They were like, would you come if you got picked? And I was like, yeah, of course I'll come. Thinking, that's not happening. And then a week later, so 2 weeks ago, they were like, you've been picked? And I was like, you joking? And I was like, I'm going on holiday. So I had to reorganise my whole holiday without anyone knowing, obviously, because it only got announced a few days ago. And I mean, at first I was like, what? And I was like, I don't get it. I don't know why it's me.
Well, one of the reasons that it's you was this goal against Norway.
Scott now finds Taylor. Tacks the penalty, back to Jill Scott, takes that touch, couldn't get the shot away. Maybe Bronze will. She does! Oh, yes! An absolute belter! England are ahead! What a strike!
Is that, well, do you know, somebody says in the audience, has she been watching Gerald? Stephen, you know about long-range goals. How good is that, and how difficult is it to do it with that power and that accuracy?
It's probably one of the most difficult techniques in the game, especially at world-class level. For the ladies, you're talking about the best goalkeepers in the world, so to connect that well from that distance and for it to fire into the roof of the net, it's a world-class finish.
And also a difficult thing to practice. Had you practised?
No. Absolutely not. I'm not allowed anywhere near shooting practice and training. It's not my forte.
Yeah, I know.
When you came back from the World Cup, you got a great reception. You must have been aware, Katie, of how much of an impact you'd had over here, of how many people watched.
It's funny because out there you're in so much of a bubble. You don't quite know what's going on back home. Obviously, you know the tweets and stuff like that that's going on. It wasn't actually until we came back and we actually see what we'd done and, inspired a lot of young girls. And just to see it, obviously, league games as well, the gates go up and the support for the actual league games as well for us was unbelievable.
And you had some official receptions. What was happening here? Prince William obviously bombing the selfie, as it were.
Yeah, Karen Bardsley, our goalkeeper, I think she did that. I don't know why we did that, though, because he wanted to get pictures with us anyway, and we'd met him a few times. He'd rang us whilst we was out there, give us our team talk before Japan semi-final.
Yeah, semi-final.
Yeah, he'd been on the speaker, and he was, I know Jose said about the physio, but we had the Prince too in our team talk, so that was pretty cool. But
I was actually late to this. There was a tube strike that day and I got stuck in traffic, completely missed the whole thing. Turned up outside when they was actually coaching the kids.
And hopped the fence. Jumped over a fence at his house, basically.
Katie, you could have got arrested.
No, they told us to get over.
Oh, I see. Jump over that fence.
Jump over that fence and it was gone.
No, they told us to get over, because otherwise we'd have to go all the way around to get in and I'd have been another hour late.
Have your girls suddenly got a different attitude, Stephen, to football because of what they've been doing?
Not so much my girls. I think I've sickened mine with football, to be honest. Every time I put it on the TV, they walk out or trying to get the remote to put the cartoons or the American shows back on and stuff. But I'd love them to be involved. I don't know, what about you girls? Did your parents sort of get you into it, or did you just play it in school, or how did you get addicted to football? I just started
playing in school, yeah. Just joining in with the boys in the playground.
Maybe I'll try that one then, see if that one works.
I think they either want to play or they don't want to play. Yeah. I think it's just something, you've either got it in you or you're not quite...
My parents haven't got a clue about football.
Yeah.
No. Not a clue. My mum just about learned the offside rule for the World Cup, I think. So, I just copied my brother.
I mean, my boys, obviously, my house is football crazy. I can't get away from it. Sometimes I think I need to escape.
And are they Chelsea fans, your boys?
No.
No?
No.
Who do they support, then?
We're actually Millwall supporters.
OK.
I'm afraid.
Right
and they
then.
like Man City, which I don't know where that I think that came with all the success and that sort of stuff. I'll get that out of them.
Probably beat it out of them.
Exactly. The big difference, I mean, it's 3 children each. I mean, that's a lot of organisation to do, and your house is always going to be busy and full of people. But obviously the big difference is, Stephen, you didn't have to give birth to yours. Katie did. And how close to sort of due date were you playing, and then how soon afterwards were you playing again?
I played for the first 3 months. Yeah, as they say, just keep your routine going as normal. And then obviously stop competitive games and then just continued training probably up to about 6 months. Obviously with caution, I had medical staff around me looking after me. Yeah, and just training, obviously, with me big belly, no contact and that sort of stuff, just passing and just keeping myself ticking over, really. And then after that, moving into the gym and swimming and, yeah, till 2 weeks before. So it was a bit crazy, actually.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not doing that. And then afterwards, how quickly could you get back in the gym?
As soon as they told me after 6 weeks I was clear. Having the break during pregnancy gave me that kind of hunger back to get back and play again and want to be back at that top level and say, can I make it back to there? And it was nice that I actually made it back to England as well. And I think I challenged myself quite a lot with that.
Well, you've had the most unbelievable season because obviously the Lionesses did so well, but also for your club, for Chelsea. You won the league, having lost it last year on the last day, and you won the FA Cup final at Wembley for the first time, which was massive.
Yeah, it was history. I think, yeah, just playing the first ever Women's FA Cup at Wembley. I mean, to be on that massive stage and to get the support there that we did was an unbelievable moment, and to win it was a magical feeling for me.
And the setup is changing so much, and actually none more so than at your club, Lucy, at Manchester City. They didn't have a women's side until, what, 2-3 years ago?
Yeah, last year was their first proper year in the league, and, you know, at the minute we're the only women's team in England with our actual own stadium. We train at the men's training ground, we have our own changing rooms there, you know, we share all the facilities, which is unheard of, really, in the women's game across the world, let alone in England. So Man City are really kind of paving the way in women's football, and I'm so happy that I'm at that club.
Sometimes it's small steps, sometimes it's giant leaps. And I think one of the giant leaps is FIFA 16, suddenly, you know, now including women's players or with female players. Do you think does that make a difference, Lucy?
Yeah, of course it does. You know, I grew up playing FIFA with my big brother. It's good for, you know, the boys to be able to see that, the girls to be able to see that and see it as kind of, you know, obviously not the same level, but being thought of as the same.
Let's have a look at you in action.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, dear.
It's going to be a trademark Lucy Bronze goal. Oh, yes. And how are you with the celebration? Because you get a little celebration as well.
It's a normal celebration as well.
Is that all right? Have you played as yourself yet, Katie?
No, I haven't. My children obviously played. And it's quite funny, actually, going around to the schools to drop them off at school, and all the kids are going, oh, I played you last night, and you scored loads of goals, you scored this many goals. It's quite overwhelming, actually. You're like, really? I wish I did in real life.
Well, we've taken a look at the player ratings in the game, because obviously, Stephen, you're in it as well. So, of the 3 of you, who do you think scored the highest on shot power?
Lucy.
You think Lucy, you think Stevie G. Let's have a look at your ratings.
I've only scored 1.
Well, the answer is Stephen Gerrard with 90. Who comes out on top on sprint speed?
That's not me.
Definitely not me.
I'll take that one.
Okay.
I'll take that one.
So let's have a look.
I'm not slow, but...
No, it is you, Lucy. You're the fastest. Oh, Katie.
Oh, beat you.
Yes.
Look at
Now you're upset, aren't you?
You obviously watch the MLS.
Finally, who do you think is the most aggressive?
Oh, God.
Chaps. Chappy.
No, I think Stephen.
No.
Not sure.
Let's have a look.
100%.
The answer is Katie Chapman.
It's nearly full, that.
Are you an aggressive player?
No.
Yes. I play against
I never make a tackle.
So...
She is. I've watched her. She's aggressive.
You're not aggressive in real life, are you?
No. And all my tackles are fair, completely.
Of course they are. Right, it's time for another short break, but when we come back, we'll be showing you top Premier League footballers as you've never seen them before. We'll see you very soon. is Stephen Gerrard and England Lionesses Lucy Bronze and Katie Chapman. Now, we're coming up to the end of the year and it's awards season, and I had the honour of hosting the BT Sports Action Woman of the Year 2015. Let's have a look at the winners, because the Lionesses were presented with their trophy by Rio Ferdinand. Do you think the awards are important, actually? Do you like getting that? And that was a public vote.
Obviously, that award, you're against some big names, you know, Jess Ennis, and I think when we was kind of sat there, more and more names are getting mentioned and all their achievements, we were like, we don't stand a chance, you know, we're just England ladies, we're not really big stars, and I think that kind of shows where we've come and that people want us to win things and people want to see us, and that's obviously, that's voted for by the public, so it kind of shows you where we've come to now, and people are just, everyone's backing us.
On January the 11th, the winner of the Ballon d'Or is announced. It honours the best players and coaches from the men's and the women's game. And Mark Sampson has been nominated for Coach of the Year in the women's side.
Yeah, I think it's a good nomination. I think he's freshened it up again. The girls are enjoying playing for the national team, which is always a bonus. And I think going out there to the World Cup, we knew we had to do well as players. And he obviously had a point to prove too. And I think that's why we did so well.
And actually, I quite enjoyed hearing him talk through the different tactics for different opposition. You know, he changed things, didn't he, for different teams that you were facing?
He changed things every single game, every half-time, and you kind of just had to sit there and be like, yeah, we'll do that. And we literally went out and we were like, right, girls, we're doing this. And it was like, you just kind of had to jump in. And I remember we played Canada and they've got a little Geordie guy who's their manager, and he was kind of like, yeah, you know, I know what England's doing, I know their tactics, and we were sat there going, well, we don't. So, I don't know how you know what we're doing.
And I think that worked for us, to be quite honest, that maybe we didn't quite know, and how are they going to know?
It's nearly Christmas, and we know Josie is going to be very busy telling his secretary who to send cards to, who not to, who he wants to write personal messages to. But, Stephen, normally over Christmas, I mean, you'd be getting ready for a Boxing Day match and presumably, therefore, not eating a lot on Christmas Day.
No, very light, and you know, most Christmas nights I'm in a hotel preparing for the Boxing Day fixture.
So what's going to be different this year?
I'll be having a glass of wine or a beer.
Is it Christmas lunch at yours?
Yeah.
I'm not inviting myself, I wasn't saying I'm... Stephen?
No, all the family, all the close family are coming around Christmas Day and Boxing Night, so there's a couple of big dinners going off, so could be putting a few kilos on.
Are you a cook? Can you cook?
No, I can't, no. Very basic.
Do you just stir the sauce, maybe?
Yeah, I just come in when it's nearly ready and then just get involved at the end.
Take the plates in.
Yeah.
Very good. And what are you two doing for Christmas?
I'm going to be round at my mum's with all my family. I'm one of 6, so big family.
And after Christmas lunch, do you have a little kickabout?
No.
No. Watch the telly.
I sit down and let the food go down, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What about you, Lucy?
Yeah, family. I mean, my family's quite... My brother's into football, but our family's into running. So last year, we went for a run on Boxing Day. My brother thought he could beat me, but I killed him. But this year I'm not doing it because he's trained really hard.
So you're just not going to do it?
So this year I'm saving my knees.
There's quite a tradition, isn't there, of Christmas parties at the various football clubs, and then being fancy dress parties.
Yeah. I've been to a few lively ones over the years, yeah.
Will you get invited back this year?
I haven't yet, no.
Oh.
We'll have to see how the next couple of weeks go, but if I get an offer, I'm not going to turn it down. I'm available.
Let's get that invitation out there, because when it's fancy dress, you really make an effort. I mean, look at that. It's very good. You wouldn't know. You see, you could go out like that and nobody would recognise you. Yeah. I think that's quite impressive. And the main thing is with fancy dress, if you're going to do it properly. So who is this? Peter Crouch is correct, obviously. Who's that? Do you know who that is?
Ramsey.
As Rambo, exactly. Aaron Ramsey. And what about this one? Do you know who that is? Where's Wally?
Gareth Barry.
Gareth Barry. Very good. Right, audience. Who's this? A little bit more difficult. Do you know? No? Do you know, Stephen? Katie,
no,
Lucy?
Struggling.
Olivier Giroud. It is. Yes. And finally, who is this? I think that is the best fancy dress I've ever seen. I want to know... Because that is amazing.
It's not makeup, it's a mask.
That's a great effort.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I just had to go to my granddad's to lend all the clothes. It was quite easy. That was easier than the other one.
Was it?
The other one's all makeup and stuff. That was 10 minutes. And I won it that night as well.
I bet you did.
So I had to down a pint.
Oh, it's tough. Did you take the mask off to do that?
Yeah, just peeled it up.
I think very good effort. Well, listen, if you do get invited to the Liverpool fancy dress party, will you send us a photo?
Sure.
Just before you
Promise.
leave, send us a photo. Have a brilliant Christmas, all of you, and thank you so much. We've reached the end of the show. Make sure you come back, because next time I'll be joined by cycling's double Olympic gold medalist Geraint Thomas, former Formula 1 and current world endurance champion Mark Webber, and racing's greatest ever jockey, AP McCoy. To my guests tonight, to Jose Mourinho, to Stephen Gerrard, to Paige Chapman and Lucy Bronze, many thanks, and thank you at home for watching. We'll see you very soon. Good night.